Warning. The following podcast is utter nonsense and may cause agoraphobia, kleptomania, insomnia, and oppositional defiance disorder. We are required by law to provide you with this disclaimer for hazardous materials.
Welcome back to Hazardous Materials, where the wing's the thing. I'm Gideon Gonzalez, and joining me as always is my co-host,
Casey Johnson.
And this week we're going to be taking a semi-deep, but not too intrusive dive into some of the side characters from the currently airing Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. We picked out three of our faves, and we each picked a story to highlight what we really love about those characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the characters that you're just now seeing for the first time. But, I mean, we've been reading these guys for decades, so we're hoping to shed some light on this for you.
So, first off, in case you've ever wondering, what's the deal with that cool French kickboxer, Batroc the Père?
Yes, in fact, the Batroc is a master of the, was it Savate?
Yes.
French foot boxing. If you've never seen that, that's what he do.
First appears in Tales of Suspense number 75, a very fun little issue where involving the introduction also of Sharon Carter.
He kicks a lot of ass, but he has been played for laughs more than a few times.
It's true.
The most recent tip, he was in a Thunderbolts 3-issue for King in Black.
And it ruled.
And he was pretty fucking badass in it.
Yeah, my favorite thing in it is, so they're fighting some Venoms, being that it's King in Black. And you fight Venom sometimes.
You do.
And one of their guys, because it's very much... This, more than almost any other Thunderbolts, feels like Suicide Squad.
This is very much the answer to Suicide Squad.
So, one of their guys, they got some Z-lister electric guy who's got some, like, gauntlets. And he dies very quickly.
I've never even seen the guy. I'm pretty sure that was his first and last appearance.
And so, after he dies, Batroc takes the dude's electro gauntlets off and puts them around his ankles so he can have electrified kicks. And it's very sick. Juan Ferreira does the art, and it's gorgeous.
As you can, this high kick he's doing with the guy is really cool. I think this is Mr. Fear he's got at the end of his foot right there.
Mr. Fear was very obnoxious in that book.
Yeah, he really was. Mr. Fear, might as well dive a little bit into him, is a Daredevil villain who tends to do the whole skull over his face just like Taskmaster. And
they even comment on it. Taskmaster asked him why he stole his look.
Yeah, I was like, what's up with that, man?
But despite Mr. Fear predating Taskmaster by a good 15 years. Now, my Batroc the Leaper story... So I could have gone, my heart said that issue of Grunwald's run, which we'll throw up right here, where Batroc gets drunk with his boys and decides to challenge Captain America in the middle of the night. Very fun. But my serious answer is the recent Unbelievable Gwenpool book, which has a shockingly sincere take on Batroc. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like a mentor figure to her. And it almost makes me cry at the end with his farewell. Because this version, she even says, you're going to stick around, but this version of you is never going to show up again. It's just like, oh. Oh,
yeah. You should probably know that Gwenpool is intrinsically aware that she is a comic book character. What continuity is all about.
It does the meta thing very, very well. It's Chris Hastings, who you may know from the long-running webcomic Dr. McNinja, and Gurihiru is a pair of artists that do phenomenal work on the book.
Yeah, there's actually a point towards the end of her run where she knows that she's at her last issue. She takes a shark dog to Deadpool because she knows this is the only way this character is going to get any level of permanence.
Got to stick him around somehow.
Yep.
But yeah, a very sweet take on Batroc you don't see too often.
My hot take was actually what we were just talking about, was that Thunderbolts book, because Batroc has been played for laughs. Even in the book he normally pops up in, which is Captain America. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, okay, it's Batroc the Leaper. What? You know, and Batroc has been pretty cool. I mean, he even had his own mercenary brigade.
Yeah, Batroc's brigade.
With Machete and what's that guy that had the pole arm? And
God, it's not Pike? Javelin, but it's Pike maybe, something like that.
I mean, he's long dead.
But yeah, again, God, I really got to look up what that Grunwald issue is, because it's just them hyping him up while they're at a bar. And it's like, I could take Captain America. It's like, yeah, boss, you could. Let's go find him. Let's go challenge him in the streets.
So he's in this Thunderbolts book I'm talking about, which is a new team of Thunderbolts put together by Wilson Fisk, who is the mayor of New York. Fun times. He's, of course, he's succeeding the previous mayor of New York, which was J. Jonah Jameson.
New York can't catch a break.
No, it really can't. So Wilson Fisk is doing his thing, and he collects a group of villains to go take out this MacGuffin that they've got in the King in Black. So he gets like Taskmaster, Mr. Fear, Star, and Batroc. And Batroc turns out to be really the one of the breakout stars of this book.
Yeah, and in Gwenpool, the way he's introduced is that he is part of a team that's assembled with a mercenary team assembled with Gwenpool, and she keeps them around as her henchmen, basically. But he's like, "Hey, I'm the only one here who has like actual supervillain experience. Let me tell you how this should go down." And he's also like hyper competent, which is the thing a lot of people forget about Batroc, is that this is a guy who goes toe to toe with Captain America, like one of the greatest hand-to-hand fighters in the world.
And they firmly established that in Winter Soldier's beginning scenes.
Yeah, but to say he rules. What's his name? George St. Pierre?
George's Batroc.
Yeah, he rules.
And George St. Pierre, yeah, he's got the same first name.
Exactly.
And he's going to be in episode 5 and 6 of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, cool.
So it's going to be really cool.
By the time this drops, they'll both already be out. So.
Yeah, so you'll already know about just how cool he really is. I've noticed, and this is kind of a footnote going out on Batroc, but I've noticed that almost 85 to 90% of the surviving MCU non-cosmic villains have been Thunderbolts members.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Wonder if that'll come up later.
Yeah, that's called foreshadowing.
Our next point of interest is the not your least favorite whiskey brand, but is in fact John Walker, alias Captain America, alias U.S. Agent. Casey, lay it on me. What defines this character for you?
Well, you know what? The thing that really, and this is something that actually gets talked about in the 4th episode, except they did it to a smaller degree. But Captain America, U.S. Agent, John Walker, is a product of Power Broker. And in the comics, Power Broker is a small company that's handing out low-level strength and durability, usually to wrestlers, especially the Extreme Wrestling Organization.
Another Mark Grunwald creation.
Yeah, that the Thing was a part of.
Yes.
And so the government gives John Walker the Power Broker treatment. They get Taskmaster to train him up, which is another Thunderbolt.
Hey,
and
the guy, he'll take a paycheck from anyone.
Yeah,
even the U.S. government.
So even though Captain America is Captain America and Steve Rogers is Steve Rogers, the government thinks, oh, well, as long as we just have a really strong dude wearing the Captain America colors, he'll represent us just fine. And as you can see in the 4th episode of Falcon Winter Soldier, that doesn't exactly hold up either. The comics version of that is a lot more bloody. In this, the Watchdog organization, I guess trying to make a name for themselves, get a hold of John Walker's parents. And because, the perfect way to really win over a hero who's just starting out and may not know exactly what his limits are, let's kill his parents. And that's exactly what they do. And John Walker loses his ever-loving shit.
You can see in this cover from Cap 335, it's got a cute little blurb of like, see the new Cap in his first adventure. Well, he is just slaughtering these dudes.
And that's exactly what he does. He kills all of them. And that's right then and there, the government's like, hey, Steve, you know that John Walker guy we put together? Not exactly working out. You need to do something about that. And, of course, John Walker, being John Walker at the time, very ego-driven, is not ready to give up the Stars and Stripes.
Oh, yeah. That year and a half of storytelling from Cap 333, when Walker first dons the costume, to Cap 350, when Steve beats the costume off of him. The Captain Saga, as some may call it, since Steve is wearing the black, red, and white the Captain costume that would later John Walker would adopt as U.S. Agent.
And speaking of that, I've actually got a follow-up to this one. The other thing I really liked is when Henry Peter Gyrick, our government liaison,
everyone's favorite red tape inducer,
assigns U.S. Agent to the West Coast Avengers. Which, of course, that goes over really well.
The West Coast Wackos. a series that got a whole lot of attention from WandaVision because
of the White
old
Vision.
White Vision, quarter bin fodder himself.
Yeah.
Marker of, this probably isn't a good comic, but now it's like $50 to $100. So,
And the funny thing is that issue that showcases the White Vision for the first time is actually a redo of the very first appearance.
yeah, because John Byrne never had an original idea in his life, so coming for him.
You know, I know John Byrne's got a lot of issues, but the man drew Sabretooth.
John Byrne hater right here.
Uh,
But anyways, The Watchdog Massacre is a Mark Grunwald, Tom Morgan collaboration. Very fun. Soon to be reprinted in a epic collection, Captain America, The Captain.
yeah.
Very good. Excited to see that. Because there was an old paperback that collected that whole time period, but it's it's out of print now and a little out of most people's price range. If you're willing to bid up to that stupid amounts on eBay, go for it. But I'll wait for that $40 trade.
I really hope that the John Walker that is going to be in the MCU from now on puts on a more U.S. agent.
I mean, he's basically got the costume just in navy instead of black.
Yeah, I guess you could still hold on to that because that still does give him a unique look.
So my favorite John Walker stuff, it's not Captain America, although the Greenwald stuff probably is my favorite, let's be honest, but you already took it. So
I took it, sorry.
yeah, the Rooney stuff's amazing. West Coast, not my cup of tea. Talking about the Volume 2 of Dark Avengers, a.k.a. Thunderbolts.
Ah, yes.
Looks at the camera and winks, another Thunderbolts reference. Take a drink every time we mention Thunderbolts this episode.
It's happening a lot more.
But this was from Jeff Parker, who had a very long run of Thunderbolts up until then, with Declan Shalvey, Neil Edwards, and a few other fill-in artists. And this one, it is not the Dark Avengers from Volume 1. I think Moonstone's the only one of that bunch that sticks around.
Yeah.
But you've got U.S. Agent, you've got Hawkeye's brother, Trickshot, you've got Scar, son of Hulk, you got, I can't remember what his name is, but South American Spider God.
It's like he's got a hyphenated name I can't pronounce.
But he looks like Black Suit Spidey with 6 arms.
Yeah.
There's Doxy as Scarlet Witch.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So her and the Spider Dude first showed up in I think it was like Kelly Sue DeConnick mini setting up a story in Bendis' New Avengers. It was Osborn, Evil Incarcerated. Mm-hmm. And Osborn is in one of the Marvel prisons, and his cellmates happen to be these two. And he's like, hey, you want to bust out here and make a new Dark Avengers? I got the son of the Hulk on the line.
Yeah, Scar.
Scar was in.
Where has Scar gone?
I don't know, man. I'm surprised he hasn't shown up in Immortal Hulk.
Right.
'Cause I think this book was the last time I really remember seeing him anywhere.
That's the last time I've ever seen him.
Oh, and also Ragnarok, the robot Thor from Civil War.
I totally forgot about Ragnarok.
He's in here, yeah.
He's the one that put the hole through our boy Giant Man.
Yeah, I'm still mad about it.
Yeah.
Never not gonna be mad about it. But this Dark Avengers book is basically this team. John Walker is leading these guys. He's been through some stuff over the years, in between his first appearance and now. He's got robot legs. He's Lieutenant Dan in it. He is leading this team of misfits and monsters as they go into essentially an Earth 3 style dimension, where you got a Dr. Frankenstein Iron Man. You've got King Thing's Gladiator ring. You got Doctor Strange, a very evil wizard.
I like this because it gave the beginnings of Trickshot's redemption arc.
Yes.
And I really like redemption stories.
I remember when Barney was first brought back in Hawkeye Blind Spot, I was really mad because I liked Trickshot, the prior villain, the guy who trained Hawkeye how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Yeah, the pudgy one.
Exactly. I liked him. He was a cool villain. And I was mad that he dies. I love that, I think it's Jim McCann wrote all those Hawkeye minis around that time. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I was also like a teenager, so I was just like, this is different. I don't like it. But I over time, this book really helped turn me around on Barney, because I was like, oh, so Hawkeye's brother, it just happens to be alive and just happens to also be good at archery.
And happens to have the weirdest mask possible.
Yeah, very bizarre.
Okay, I don't know if you know this, but or if you ever read something with Trickshot, but his mask is basically this. It's like an X.
It's pretty sick.
Oh, that's right in the middle of his eyebrows, crosses over the bridge of his nose, and then stops right here. I don't even know really what the point of it is.
A little target.
Yeah.
In the eyes.
I mean, it's not like he's an X-Man or anything like that, but he's just got this X on his face, like a half domino mask. But
But yeah, between this book and his later appearances in Fractions Hawkeye, I really warmed up to the character.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, this is some good nuanced John Walker stuff because he often can be just like, and I think in West Coast Avengers especially, just kind of it comes off as a cartoon.
He's a hot and cold, just like Batroc is.
Yeah, sometimes he's just like the most boring stereotype imaginable, and it's just like, oh, this guy again. But then
he's not
like,
played for laughs. He's either somebody trying to redeem himself, or he's an insufferable ass again.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I think in Dark Avengers is an interesting thing because he's still an asshole, but he's on a world of bigger assholes. So
Yeah.
he is, as a team of, I feel like Lesser Evil should have been like the subtitle of this Dark Avengers run because that's really what the gimmick is.
He's actually in a miniseries right now, and his current shield looks like Captain America's shield still, but instead of the star in the center, it just says U.S.
Us.
So, yeah.
And it's I don't remember. I feel bad for not remembering who's drawing it. I know Marco Cicchetto's doing the covers, but Chris Priest, one of my favorite comic writers of all time, is writing it. So I was going to trade weight and pick that up.
It's a little confusing.
I mean, that's how Chris Priest does.
Oh, well, then he certainly did his job.
He is the master of the nonlinear story.
And it's nonlinear as hell.
Check out his Panther's Deathstroke. Sorry, I had to plug some Chris Priest in here.
Oh, my God.
Completely unrelated.
All right, so what's that? Well, what's next on the list?
Our final villain, you know him, you love him. He does the fun little dance. He wears the purple eggplant mask. We are just talking about Baron Helmut Zemo.
Our boy Zemo.
Captain America's greatest foe, some would say.
Yeah, the best villain since Loki. I mean, this guy's got charisma bleeding out his eyeballs.
I already loved Daniel Bruhl in Civil War, where he's playing. It was nothing like comic Zemo.
No.
But he was still really cool.
Yeah.
And he took out the Avengers. So
he was Zemo in name, but at the end of the movie, when I saw that this locked him up, I was like,
Yeah, here and on Winter Soldier, he gets to go full campy supervillain. It's delightful.
Yeah.
It's so great. Casey, lay it on me. What is your favorite Baron Zemo story?
My favorite Baron Zemo story is actually, it could really be the entire length of the Thunderbolts books.
That is a good 150 issues he's
at least. I mean, there's a few issues in the center where he has nothing to do with the team whatsoever because, I mean, okay, I hope I'm not ruining this for you because this is basically the first issue, and I know we talked about this before. We've talked about the concept of the Thunderbolts and what it really was.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But
the greatest twist in superhero comics.
Well, yeah, one of the best kind of maneuvers that Marvel has ever pulled off, and this was in the mid-'90s when the Avengers had essentially disappeared for like a year.
It disappeared to be drawn by Rob Liefeld for a year.
Geez, that was painful. So this new team just shows up out of nowhere of heroes that no one has ever seen, and Marvel even marketed this as the replacement of the Avengers. This is going to be the new thing going on.
While the Image guys play with the big toys, we gotta beef up.
We got this thing going on here, and it's being drawn by Mark Bagley, who is one of my all-time favorite artists and the best Spider-Man artist I've ever seen.
I do love some Mark Bagley Spider-Man. That's Ultimate Spider-Man was one of the first comics I ever read. So that's
he
burned in my mind.
All of those Ultimate Spider-Mans. I mean, he really marathoned it. If you're gonna get something that's good and consistent, and you want to hire someone that's going to be around for years, you're going to hire Mark Bagley.
Oh, yeah.
Lost track of what I was talking about. Anyway, so at the end of this book, these heroes are revealed to, in fact, actually be the Masters of Evil, led up by Baron Zemo.
Who's wearing a mask under his mask.
Because that's
my favorite thing.
Well, actually, no, he isn't. He takes off the mask and in the shadows goes over to a closet, puts on his Zemo mask.
Even more extra.
And then pumps his fist and proclaims what they really are.
So good. It's a status quo that couldn't last forever because by the end of the year, the Avengers come back, they clean Zemo's clock, and then Hawkeye takes over.
Like 80% of the Thunderbolts realize, doing this hero thing, we kind of like doing this hero thing.
And Hawkeye's like, hey, I was a supervillain once. I'll help these guys on the straight and narrow.
And then Zemo leaves the book for a while and takes Techno with him, which is the only other Thunderbolt that's really loyal to him. And then he becomes a foil for the Thunderbolts for a while. Then he comes back, leads the team again, during the Swordsman era, and then even does a heel. He does a face turn, and becomes a legitimate hero type for Counter Earth. He's like
the Earth that is constantly rotating on the other side of the sun from Marvel's Earth.
So we can't ever see it.
Yeah, it's a secret Earth.
But once Zemo figured out, this is my place now. I mean, his ego is what really drove him to become a hero. Which
Counter
is great.
Earth is where no one knows you profited off of Nazi gold.
Exactly. So Zemo is a hero there, and he comes back, and he's also one of the instrumental people that helps solve the Moonstone problem. When Moonstone takes in a second Moonstone stone into her.
Had the stones to do it.
Yep, so Zemo was there to take care of that. So since then, Zemo has really kind of been... He just does what Zemo does. He's not really a villain per se, but I mean, if it suits Zemo, Zemo's going to do it.
He's pretty well back to being full-time villain.
Oh, he is a full-time heel this time, but I mean, they still kind of write him as just doing what it suits Zemo.
Yeah. It's not my pick for my favorite Zemo story, but during the lead up to Secret Empire, with the Hydra Cap era.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite issues of that is I think it's number 3 or 4 when Steve-El goes to find Zemo, and in Steve-El's fake memories, he and Zemo are like best
of friends.
So he like busts into prison, and Zemo's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna die." He's like, "Helmet, my good friend," and Zemo. You can see Zemo's thinking just like, "Oh, I can turn this to my advantage."
Exactly.
Cool.
Not skipping a beat. Zemo turns on Zemo like, yes, I am.
Steve, my best friend. Please, remind me of our childhood together.
Yes.
Let's reminisce about it.
I need to catch up on how this really works.
Very fun stuff.
Yeah.
But my favorite Zemo story is also my favorite Avengers story from Roger Stern, possibly my favorite comic book writer. Well, he's a top 3er for sure.
And from what I've been told, is considered the best Avengers story ever made.
By many, yes. This is, of course, Roger Stern and John Buscema's run-concluding epic, Avengers Under Siege, in which Baron Zemo and the Masters of Evil destroy Avengers Mansion and just kick the snot out of the Avengers.
And put our boy Herc in a coma.
Yeah, the Incredible Hercules gets beaten to a coma by the Wrecking Crew and Power Man, not Luke Cage, the guy who would later become Atlas.
Yeah.
Eric, what's his last name?
Eric, oh God, Ross, I don't know. He's actually the most stand-up dude in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
He's like...
He stood on Hercules' chest until it caved in.
He's trustworthy. He believes in his friends a little too much. During the second round of Thunderbolts issues, when he perceives Captain Marvel, this is the son of Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers,
Janice,
might be actually flirting with Songbird. In his brain, he thinks that's going to disrupt the romance that I know is existing between Songbird and Mach 1. That can't happen, and loses his crap, beats the hell out of Captain Marvel, and throws him in the water when he's knocked him unconscious. Has his moments.
Atlas is a bad dude. But
he's your buddy. He's your buddy.
He's a ride or die. But so Zemo has this incredibly elaborate plan. It involves using the villain Blackout to drop them into the Dark Force dimension, get a little bubble going, while Moonstone is psychologically manipulating him to keep him on the up and up because Blackout's pretty crazy. Is it Blackout or is it Bolt? It's Blackout, right?
It's Blackout.
Okay, yeah. You've got the Wrecking Crew and Power Man just rushing Hercules and beating the snot out of him. While you got the Absorbing Man and Titania coming in there and wrestling up and down the Pims. It's a very, very layered plan. He got goons, but the real focus is on having Captain America captured. And Zemo has Cap.
Zemo's a hard-on for bringing Cap down off his high horse.
Because he blames Captain America for the death of his father, Heinrich Zemo, who killed Bucky. So, they just keep going back and forth. But he's got Cap tied to a chair while he tears up his last picture that he has of his mom and his last picture of Bucky.
Well, at the time was quite dead.
He had Mr. Hyde bring him, is either Mr. Hyde or Fixer, one of the two, brings him his Steve Rogers steamer trunk that stayed around since the 40s. And he's just going through it and just burning like his journals and stuff. It's just some prime petty supervillain stuff.
And the Fixer goes on to become the Thunderbolt Techno, who's still gonna be Zemo's boy.
And but the ultimate, like, kind of the ending is, as you can see from this cover of the final issue, is Avengers Mansion is destroyed, and Cap and Zemo just have a knockdown, drag-out brawl while all of Zemo's plans crumble around him. And just like in Civil War, though, Zemo ultimately wins. He has successfully fractured the Avengers. The lineup changes after this issue.
Yeah.
He destroyed their home. He's destroyed irreplaceable artifacts of Captain America's life.
They put Jarvis in the hospital.
Yeah. Like, it's so good. It's available, I believe they did a few epic collections of Roger Stern's Captain America run. Might be out of print, though, but still can readily be found on Marvel Unlimited, and these are from like the mid-late 80s, so back issues aren't crazy hard to find.
I saw Under Siege is actually in print right now, and it uses the cover of Zemo fighting Captain America.
Pick it up. It's great. The Epic Collection might be a little bit pricey because it's $40 and it's got like 20 issues worth, but all of Roger Stern's Avengers run's phenomenal. That's one of my favorite comic runs of all time.
Do we got any remaining characters on Falcon Winter Soldier we haven't really thought of yet?
There's the one you spoiled for me, but we're not going to talk about it.
We can't talk about it because I've seen the major character that's in episode 5, Gideon. Gideon has not seen this episode, and my production boys, they have not seen it, and they don't even know what the hell we're talking about with this character, so we really can't talk about it.
So we're not going to talk about her. I'm more than happy to talk about the Power Broker, though, because that's a character who I marked out for when they were mentioned.
Yeah, they've hinted more about Power Broker in episode 5, but it seems like it's going to be a last episode reveal.
So my personal favorite Power Broker thing was in Nick Spencer's Ant-Man run. Power Broker is running a supervillain app called Hench.
I've seen that.
It's
that was
great.
great.
It's a ton of fun. Very fun, silly story.
That sounds like something a Taskmaster would have put together.
Taskmaster uses Hench in the series.
Of course he does.
And there's the great bit where Scott Lang goes, "My arch nemesis, Taskmaster." And Taskmaster's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, we fought like 3 times." And he says, "Buddy, I fight everybody."
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like, I just happen to bump into you a lot.
But that's actually true. The first 2 appearances of Taskmaster were heavy Ant-Man stories.
Yeah. When Hawkeye and Ant-Man team up, somebody's gonna get it.
Yeah, the arrow thing. Yeah, that was a Taskmaster thing, and of course, Taskmaster's first appearance, which I believe is Avengers 190 or 195. I think it's 190.
195.
But anyway,
or 193.
That's a George Perez bit of just beauty.
And that's a George Perez-ass design if you ever see one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got Buccaneer boots.
My man, 2 years later was like, all right, but what if I just did a half blue and half orange mask instead of this skull and cape bit and made Deathstroke?
Yeah, I mean, who would have ever thought? It's like I'm gonna make this villain who has a backpack quiver and a cape, and I'm gonna make it work, and he does because it goes through a hole in his cape.
It's like how Blade's got his little sheath on
the back of his jacket.
Exactly.
Which, that sword can't possibly work because your arm is only as long as it's going to be. Come on,
There's
man.
a curve to it, maybe.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
It was a bullshit
You
edit.
can't. Hey, we're not going to knock Blade's drip here.
Blade does have, what do the kids call it? Drip?
Yes.
You have to explain what exactly
He's got that Ric Flair drip. He dresses
Is that a swagger? Is that what we're talking about here? Is he based?
Well.
Is that what it is? Is that the new thing? Somebody called me based yesterday, and I had no idea what the hell it was.
We based and Blade pilled?
Yeah. I was like, hey, Ironshock, you are so based. I'm like, okay, I got to look that up. Confident of yourself or in swagger or coked out of your brain. I'm like, I guess, all right.
Another great pair of characters that I was very stunned to see on the show because I thought they were still in a legal entanglement, but Disney money works wonders. The Bradleys, I was shocked to see them. Isaiah and Eli.
Yeah. They were locked up in legal?
Yeah. Oh my God, what's his name? It's something Morales. No, I'll have to look up it. Oh, I'm
Mads
sure
Morales?
No, not Rags Morales. I don't remember what his name is, but the writer for Truth, Red, White, and Black had some form of ownership over the characters, and then he passed away. And so there is a whole legal mess between his family and Marvel trying to figure out what they could do with the characters. That's why they introduced a new Patriot in the Nick Spencer Captain America stuff.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, because they just couldn't use Eli for a while. And Eli Bradley was my favorite of the Young Avengers, so I was really bummed out to see his legacy kind of just get erased like that. But I'm really happy to see they made things work and they got to be on the show because Isaiah Bradley.
Why Eli kind of disappeared from the whole Young Avengers thing, and I guess that explains why Young Avengers didn't last.
His
very
first
long.
appearance in like a decade was at the wedding of Hulkling and Wiccan, which I guess should have been my first sign that things were changing. But I was just like, oh, that's cool, a little silent cameo.
I had no idea that was the reason why. I was so frustrated by that. I was like, how arbitrary.
But yeah. These characters basically only have, because of that, they basically have one story each. Isaiah Bradley's got the excellent Truth, Red, White, and Black, drawn by Kyle Baker, which has like a kind of Tuskegee experiment style origin for the Super Soldier Serum, which excellent read. Currently out of print and really expensive, maybe on Marvel Unlimited. Track it down if you can.
So it seems like the MCU is starting to kind of see the Young Avengers slowly but surely.
Yeah, because we have Eli pop up on this show. They recast Cassie Lang, which kind of bummed me out.
Well, I mean, they had to age her up.
Yeah, but they already had her recast in Endgame. They're recasting that girl.
I guess. I'm not going to even try to defend it. They just did it.
Yeah, that was kind of shitty.
Yeah, and
she didn't even find out about it until it was announced.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Yep.
So we got
Kate
Bishop
going to be on the Hawkeye show.
On Hawkeye show. We got the WandaVision twins, which may or may not be gone because in the last episode of WandaVision, we heard their voices. So it sounds like to me like she's just trying to find the alternate universe that they're in. So we got that. That's 4 people right there.
It's quite a few.
What
we got
else?
Skrulls, so we can get some Hulkling up in here.
Yeah, Marvel Boy. We could probably get Marvel Boy in here somehow.
Yeah, I love Marvel Boy. That gross.
You know what? Marvel Boy would be a great addition to Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah, that movie's already getting pretty stuffed though.
It really is.
You got Monica, you got Kamala, you got whatever new villains they're introducing.
They need
hoping for Moonstone. That's
I actually hope that Carol Danvers pops up in the Miss Marvel TV show.
Oh, she probably will, like in the last episode.
God, I'm actually still crossing my fingers that they're gonna pull some last-minute stunt casting with Falcon Winter Soldier and bring our boy Chris Evans in for a little old man cameo.
Little Joe Biden cap again.
Yeah, because they keep referring to Captain America being gone. And throughout the entire show, they keep referring to him being gone, even though he's Joe Bidening somewhere.
He's just being old and
yeah, but I mean, come on, be
sitting
old over
on
here.
all of his time secrets.
Which, you know what, him going old is actually something that's happened in the Marvel Universe before, and then, you know, the serum got, you know, somebody like threw some electricity in there, and then he got his youth back.
Yeah, it was complicated.
It was very complicated, but it's nothing the MCU can't do.
What was his name? It was like Mr. Bubbles or something. A guy with like bubble wand power. It wasn't Madcap. Yeah, there was some Rick Remender's Captain America run. There was some he had like a bubble pipe, and he somehow turned off Steve's serum, and that's actually why Sam became Captain America in Remender's run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which then led to Sam running a gauntlet of classic Steve villains and them retconning away Snap Wilson, which I was stunned to find was still in canon by that point. I
was too. I mean, they'd already retconned Falcon's origin one time. Mm-hmm. So to hear them do it again, I think they were just... I
loved the Uno reversal of the reveal, though.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, the backstory that was a Red Skull Cosmic Cube creation? Psych. That's the original one. He Cosmic Cubed what we thought was the actual one into being a fake one. It was... So for those of you who don't know, Snap Wilson was an incredibly offensive and stupid story where it revealed that Sam Wilson was not actually a social worker. He was, in fact, a pimp named Snap Wilson.
From the 70s.
Yeah, not Steve Englehart's Brightest Hour.
No.
Who got brainwashed by the Red Skull with a cosmic cube to give him bird powers to be a spy against Captain America. And that was canon for like 40 years.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, because Falcon was basically Captain America's partner during the 70s. So much so that Captain America's title became Captain America and Falcon.
And the Falcon. He's wearing that green lucha outfit.
Yeah, and then the green and gold then gave way to the red and whites, which he wore for a very long time.
Yes. And still looked like a lucha outfit for a while, and eventually he got a slick-looking hero suit.
Yeah.
And then he became Captain America, and now he's...
And that Captain America suit is tight.
very good. I really don't like his current Falcon look. The red on black. You need to have some white in there.
I don't. As far as I'm concerned, he's still wearing the Captain A outfit.
Yeah, and up in here he is.
He is. This is my headcanon.
And I think we've dawdled on long enough. One note that we might have to splice into an earlier part of the segment is Robert Morales was the co-creator of the Bradley family. So
That's definitely something you should also look into. The whole Isaiah Bradley thing is really a good story.
it's good stuff. So once again, give us a like, give us a subscribe,
Hit the bell if you want us to.
give us money, look at our socials.
All that stuff. But what's our next episode going to be about?
It's gonna be another fight. It's fight night.
It's fight night.
We're doing a DC now. I make the heroes. Casey makes the villains. Be there.